Wes, Gaff didn't miss in the first half. What was he doing well tonight, or what did you see from him?
Well, he shot the ball well. No, I thought did a lot of good things on both ends. He showed a little poise in the pocket. They came out and they tried to blitz a little bit. So it was a good sign for him to just slow down a little bit, be able to finish, make plays out of the pocket. Obviously, shoot with a level of efficiency. But I thought he had overall a good night. Limited minutes, but very effective.
We've asked you a lot about the young players during this stretch. It saw a lot of the starters, the guys out on the bench, really celebrating. It looked like they were honestly having a ton of fun tonight. What have you either discovered or kind of learned about the camaraderie of this locker room during this past stretch?
Yeah, I think it's it's tightened. I think it's good to see them celebrate each other. And even when it's not going well, to offer words of encouragement and kind of try to breathe life and confidence into certain guys. That goes a long way. It's one thing if it's always coming from the staff. It's another thing when it comes from the guy next to you. Potentially a guy you look up to. I think that's a good sign of how connected this group is right now, and I think it's certainly going to pay off for those young guys moving forward.
Coach, first off, how you doing?
Good, thanks.
Big night for the young guys in particular. Want to kind of revisit that, the intangible piece. It's end of the season, guys could shut it down, but they really revved it up. What have you seen from the intangible side from those young guys?
Well, I think they've been competing. That's never an issue. Now, sometimes it hasn't always been with purpose, and I think we've seen that at some points on the defensive end. I thought tonight was different. I thought we, not only were we competitive, but our overall disposition, the fly-around mentality, the cover mentality, all the intangible things. I thought, first half, offensive rebounds were an issue. It got better. But overall, I thought there was pretty good, defensive effort across the board.
And last one for you, Xavier Cooks, 10 points, 9 rebounds, almost with a double-double. How did the NBL prepare him for the NBA to do what he's doing tonight?
Well, it's a very competitive league. It's a very physical league. So, and I think it's, and I don't want to peg all international leagues because I don't know them all, but it's known for being, for having high-level talent, but also being a very physical, very aggressive type style of play. So I think it translates, from an athleticism standpoint. It's very similar.
Why did Gaff play limited minutes tonight?
Well, even the last 3-4 games, been trying to reduce his minutes, and partly because trying to get X and J Huff more opportunity. And I think, the other night he had a career high in 21 or 22 minutes. So keeping him in that range, I think, is good, especially at this point of the year. But he's been very efficient and very productive, during those stretches.
And what stood out to you about Xavier Cooks tonight in a more extended look?
He looked more comfortable. I thought, it's unfortunate he didn't get the payoff, but he had 3 or 4 potential assists where he found it in the pocket, and he had 2 no-looks to the corner. Obviously missed those shots, but, that's what, we expect from him, to be a secondary facilitator, playing off the roll, playing in the dunker, those kick-out passes. The rebounding piece is one thing to go get it. It's another thing to, the tip rebounds, the 50-50 balls. He's helped us in those areas.
You have an update on, it looked like Gafford turned his ankle maybe?
Yeah, he tweaked it a little bit. I haven't heard anything as of yet. I'm sure it might be a little sore tomorrow, but he was able to, continue.
And then Jordan Goodwin might have got hit in the face or something?
Yeah, he took a shot to the eye, upper head, eye area. He looked okay. I'm sure they'll reevaluate him and see where he is, but didn't seem to have any ill effect.
Brad said on the broadcast that, for Corey, he wants to see almost a mentality change in terms of just let it fly no matter what. I guess, how do you guys try and, just give that to him and just make sure and reinforce it for him?
I mean, we've told him, and he's been able to go out and do it, and I think that's part of his growth. And, he's obviously been shooting the ball pretty well. And, to his credit, it adds a dimension for not just him, but it puts a lot of pressure on defenders. So it's going to take some pressure off other guys. The gravity of that shooting, on the move, in transition, kind of surfing the line in those areas, is going to keep defenses occupied, which opens up, a lot of other things for other people.
Coach, with J-Help getting the extended minutes that he is, what's your overlook on J-Help's performance, over the last couple games?
He's been solid. I think it's one thing you can look at the scoring piece, the pick and pops, but he's slowing down, which is great. It's great to see the game slow down for him. He's not rushing. He doesn't look like he's being sped up by any athleticism. He's got the mix of paint finishes. Obviously, he can get on the rim with the best of them, but the three ball as well. He's making some really good plays. Shot fakes and drives, finding offense in the pocket. I think all those areas are great because it allows him to play in different spots. So it's not just strictly a spot up shooter or a pick and pop shooter. And defensively, he's done a pretty good job. His levels in pick and rolls, protecting the rim, it's been pretty solid.
First off, how you doing, Xavier?
I'm good, thanks.
Question for you: 10 points, 9 rebounds. How did the NBO prepare you for the NBA?
I think the first thing is the speed of the game. The NBO is a really fast league, and the NBA is obviously a pretty fast league. Another thing is dealing with physicality and athleticism, but obviously it takes some time to adjust to this league, but I'm enjoying it.
And one more for you: your fans in Australia really love you. Just a message for them.
Just thanks for the love. It means a lot to me, especially being in this country pretty much by myself. The love back home means a lot to me, so I really appreciate it.
And Johnny, just one for you, another great game. What's a message to those Wizards fans that really supported you from day one?
I appreciate it. Not a lot of people believed in me. I had a lot of people doubt me at the beginning of the year, but like I've been saying, once I finally got the opportunity to show what I was capable of, I think I've really started to make a name for myself.
Appreciate you.
My fault.
Johnny, obviously, you started off, in the D League this year. How did that help you, make that transition from then to now as you've gotten your scoring together, the past few games?
It helped a lot. Just being down there with those guys, playing a bigger role that I probably would be playing with Brad and Kuz and KP and all those guys in. But those coaches down there, they did a really good job of just, showing me film every single day, making sure I'm understanding the pace of the game and developing the way I should.
Thank you.
Johnny, lately you've been, getting those big minutes. What's your overview, of the NBA, the speed and everything like that?
Yeah, it's really fun being out there playing, especially against teams like Atlanta, Milwaukee, when they got all their starters playing against those all-stars and big-name guys. It's a lot of fun being out there playing with them, but at the same time, I still got to be composed and poised to go out there and try to win the game.
And do you feel like the game's slowing down a little bit more for you?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I think the G League had a lot to do with that just because I was getting a lot of minutes down there rather than sitting up here watching. I mean, you can learn a lot from watching, but you definitely learn a lot more playing and getting that experience.
Xavier, I'm just curious for you in the couple weeks that you've been here now, just what has been the feeling from the organization bringing you in, and how have you felt that you've acclimated so far?
Extremely welcoming. Since the day I got here, everyone's been super welcoming. The players, the staff, everybody. I really enjoyed the process. Obviously, it takes some time on the court to get up to speed and all that kind of stuff, but away from the court, everyone's been so lovely.
How do you think that potentially helps you? Obviously, you got here late in the season. We're finishing up your own season. But how do you think that potentially just gives you a leg up going into this off season, knowing that, okay, I'm going to hit the ground running next season?
I think this whole month I'm here at the start of the end of the season, so it's been great for me just to adjust, get used to the rules over here, the differences from the NBL pretty much, and I'm really excited for the off season, to put some work in and to build the confidence from my coaches and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm excited for it.
Johnny, I'm sure this is probably too early of a question, but I don't know when we'll talk to you again. But would you want to play in Summer League this year?
Yeah. I think it's just another opportunity for me to develop my game and, build a lot more confidence in myself.
Johnny, through all the ups and downs of your season thus far, what's the best advice you've gotten for the season?
Just stay confident in myself. I got a lot of vets in my ears all the time. Just, let me know, stay confident in myself, believe in myself, and trust the work that I put in.
Johnny, when you caught that rebound at the very end and then you guys ended up leading it quickly up the court to get a quick dunk, at that moment, did that feel like you guys had just officially sealed the win today, especially in front of a sellout crowd on your last Friday night of the year?
Definitely. You know, the way they were hitting shots and coming back, I definitely didn't want it to go into overtime or give them a chance to win. So I'm glad Jay Huff pulled out that 360. That was nice.